snow makes our feet and fingers glow.
February brings the rain, thus frozen lake again.
March brings the breezes, loud and shrill, to stare the dancing daffodil.
Hot cross buns, one a penny, two a penny, hot cross buns. If you have no daughters, give it to your sons. One a penny, two a penny.
I can remember 1943. We were in the East Indies Fleet, and we had an operation of going to the Edinburgh River to do bombardment. There was a ship I was on was HMS Rocket.
April brings the primrose sweet, scatters daisies at our feet.
In the midst of April showers, the Queen of May is here today to give us all a holiday.
May brings flocks of pretty lambs, skipping by their fleecy dams.
For the fairy queen, she's a good and gracious queen. Hooray, hooray, for the fairy queen. Hooray for the fairy queen. Can we have some money, please?
When I was 3 years old, my family, that's my mother, father and myself, no others, moved house from Worcestershire to Staffordshire. I went along with my grandfather to feed his chickens at the back of the yard. He gave me a bowl of mash and said, "Here, you feed the chickens off." So I dashed in with a bowl of mash, presented to the chickens, but all they did was scatter to the back of the pan. So the first thing I thought was, I brought this mash in, they've got to eat it. So I grabbed one of the chickens by the neck and shoved his head in the bowl. I think that's about all the story is, you know, just my life with chickens.
Last May we had a maypole, it was a pretty sight. We danced around the maypole and filled it with delight. Our hearts and
June brings tulips, lilies, roses, fills the children's hands with posies.
Hot July brings cooling showers, apricots and gillyflowers.
August brings the sheaves of corn, then the harvest home is born.
It must be autumn. What happened to the summer sun that got us nicely tanned as we sat upon the seaside fair and listened to the band?
What happened?
Finished. Margaret and I went to the dancing, but before we went to the dancing, our brother gave her a whistle. He was a docker in the city of Glasgow.
Warm September brings the fruit. Sportsmen then begin to
how oats and beans and barley grow. To you or I or anyone know how oats and beans and barley grow.
Fresh October brings the pheasant, then to gather nuts is present.
Dull November brings the blast, then the leaves are whirling fast.
Remember, the 5th of November.
Gunpowder treason and plot
I see no reason why gunpowder treason
should ever be forgot. Chill December brings the sleet, blazing fires and Christmas treat.
Eating chestnuts by a roaring fire while listening to the carol choir.
Christmas Day, 1944, we was in the Indian Ocean. Oh, we had a lovely Christmas dinner, pork sausage for the Christmas dinner.
You probably know that in the army, Boxing Day is celebrated, in peacetime at least, with a football match. I think that's enough about Boxing Day.
And never brought to mind, should old acquaintance be forgot for the sake of all mankind. And here's a home I kindly free, and here's a home no thine. I will take a reckon wally wife for the sake of all mankind.